Hello and welcome to L'Œil d'Ophidia. If you're not familiar with the channel, we are a French YouTube channel about flesh and blood. Well, obviously because we're on YouTube. And tonight I am with my friend Glenn Van Roey, the Belgian champ from Nationals, who happened like 2 weeks ago, I think. Hello, Glenn.
Hi, good evening.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank
Yeah?
you. Thank you.
Are you
Yeah,
nervous or are you okay with the questions I'm about to ask?
I have no idea what
You
the
have no...
questions will
Yeah.
be, so not
It's
no, I'm not nervous, not
it's
nervous.
supposed to be a nice interview, so we'll try to make it nice. Before we
Yeah.
start, I'll let you introduce yourself in 2 words, or actually as many words as you like. I'll let the people I interview introduce themselves because sometimes they tell more about themselves than what I would have said.
Yeah,
Sometimes less, but
sure.
it's always interesting to know what you want people to know about you. So let's let Glenn introduce himself. Who is Glenn? Who are you, man?
Who am I? Good
Yeah.
question. Yeah. So, yeah, my name is Glenn van Roey, and I'm playing Flesh and Blood now for like 2 years, just before Monarch was released. But I'm playing TCGs for more than 20 years at this point. I started out with Magic, and I started when the Onslaught block was released with Onslaught, Judgment, and Torment, I think that was. And I played a lot of competitive Magic the first 20 years. And then, yeah, we just switched. I don't know, something came over across the whole world. I think it was called Corona.
Yeah.
And then Magic stopped for a while, and then you roll into something new, find a new hobby, and then it looks like it's very cool, the game, and then we started playing a lot more. Yeah, and that's what we're doing now. I'm married. I have 2 children, two dragons, 2 children, like how you called it. Yeah, okay. The oldest one is 6, the youngest one is 4, so it's a lot to do, a lot to do.
Yeah. A lot of work,
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's finding the combination between work and the household and
And
playing
being a
Flash.
successful fab player, I guess it's hard to
Yeah,
navigate
successful.
sometimes. Yeah. Well, I guess you
But
find a way. You found a way because you won your national champs.
yeah. But
There
yeah,
are infinite types of players in card gaming. There are the poets, the romantics who are there for the beauty of the game and for the lore and who remain faithful to certain archetypes or certain characters. We have other instinctive ones, the ones who play more freestyle mode. Who don't worry about anything about the game, just play to enjoy themselves. And then there are the grinders, the tryharders, the people who always try to play the best deck, whatever it is. Like, and we have also the mathematicians, the cerebral players who like to stay deep in the tank to make their plays as much as possible. The really think a lot about the game. As a player, how would you describe yourself? What kind of player are you?
yeah, I don't think that's a very well kept secret on my end. Yeah, I'm very competitive.
Yeah,
I play every game just to win. I only play a game because it's fun to do. Because if it's not fun, I don't play the game.
yeah.
But if I play a game, I always play to win, and I put a lot of work in it, especially with TCGs like Flesh and Blood. The weeks before the nationals were up, yeah, I played a lot of Talisher online,
Mm-hmm.
of course, just to test the deck, switching the deck, talking with other very good players from Belgium as well. We have a decent Discord chat,
Yeah.
even players outside of Belgium. Yeah, and then all the results were coming in, and then I test my list. I see what were the pain points of the list.
Mm.
Ultim was a pain in the ass at that moment. Then I hooked up with Mohammed from France.
Yeah.
I had some test games against him. I talked with Paul about the list. So yeah, I really put in a lot of effort just to find the perfect 80 cards of the list. It's like not 79 plus 1 is fine. No, the 80 cards has to be very perfectly.
Mm.
So yeah,
So you're
that's
more of the grinder type, the ones who play as much as possible just to refine the list.
yeah,
Okay,
definitely. Yeah.
cool.
So
Well,
the 2 weeks before the event, I don't have a wife and kids at the
yeah.
moment.
Well, cool, perfect. That's a nice introduction. And now let's get on to the questionnaire, shall we? I don't
Yeah,
know.
sure.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Proust questionnaire, but it's basically a set of questions that the famous author Marcel Proust asked himself when he was a teenager, and he tried to answer them with wit and humor. So that's what I'm gonna ask you. You can answer however you want, and because it became a tradition in France. Like Bernard Pivot, a French journalist, used it in his TV show Bouillon de Culture, and James Lipton used it too for Inside the Actor Studio, who was one of my favorite interview shows actually. So we adapted it at Ophidia to make it relevant to Flesh and Blood players. I hope you like it, and I hope you'll find a way to answer them in a cool way so that people know you better. Because I know you, but most of the people who watch don't really know you, and that's one of the things I want to showcase more: the personality of the players of Flesh and Blood. So let's go. Are you ready?
Yeah, just shoot.
Okay. So, what's your favorite virtue? It's a word that Marcel Proust used, but the virtue as a skill in Flesh and Blood or in card gaming in general. What's the virtue and the skill you have that you value the most important to you?
The most important skill I have, oh, I
I
think
didn't
it's
say it
just
was an easy question,
oh,
so
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, sure, yeah, yeah, but that's. I think it's like, but it's all from testing. It's like you just draw four cards and you look at them, and in like 1 to 2 seconds, you just know what is the possibility of this hand. Yeah, you don't need to look at all the cards. You just see them working together, and you when you pick them up, you already see the line that has to come out of this. And
Mm,
maybe if you attack with something, I can block with this, and still this line is here. And you just have to do it like in 1, 2, 3 seconds. We see a lot of players taking a lot of time to think, like 10, 15 to 20 seconds. If I block with this, what can I do? Then maybe end up in a draw or something. That's something I really want to avoid. And I just want to do it very quickly, evaluate the hand,
yeah.
see what's possible. And I
So
think I'm
that's
very good.
quick problem solving in a way.
Yeah, yeah, indeed, indeed.
Okay, cool. And what's your main flaw? What's the one thing that's lacking in your game? Do you think?
What are flaws? Um, oh,
I
yeah.
mean, the answer can be that you don't have any, but
No, no, no. Everybody has some. Everybody has some.
but what's the most
Um,
important to you?
I think at certain points maybe there are still nerves, and a lot of players say they don't have any anymore at a certain point. But
Yeah.
it's like you saw me making the error in the finals as well.
Mm,
I attacked for with Rosetta for 2 and 2,
yeah.
and it was only for 2. So actually, there wasn't a real kill at that point. But it's like at that moment, the heartbeat is just pumping up and down,
Mm,
and yeah. You just make some small errors just to the nerves. I had the same exactly like in the Pro Tour in the first game in draft. I made in round one, turn one. I made one little mistake and it already costed me
yeah.
probably the game. It's just a little bit of nerves, and it was away after that. So, but it's only the first seconds in a game. It's always hard.
Mm,
Or if you play a win and in or something, then yeah, I think it's there for everybody, and you just have to keep your cool all the time when playing, and then yeah, I
yeah.
think
I
you're
guess that's the hardest. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
especially
yeah,
when you're on the big stage, when you're at nationals or at the pro tour, it's has to be nerves.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
What's your favorite class or hero?
Whoa. Uh, Actually, there are just heroes that I don't like, but I like most of them. Actually, I started out with Katsu. I really liked the ninja part. For the Pro Tour, I played Fi as well. Already last year at Nationals, I played Briar. I played a lot of Viserai. Prism, I really liked as well. Um, Maybe if I have to say something at this moment, it's Guardian. It's like, and it's very strange actually that it is Guardian
I
since
don't think I've
when
ever seen you play Guardian actually.
no, no, because I don't play it. I really don't play it. It's like, but the strange part about it is like when I was playing Magic, I played a lot of Legacy, and my deck choice is like UA control all the time.
Hmm.
I don't want to change from that. And then like Guardian is like the control deck Flesh and Blood, but it feels completely different, like in another TCG. The control part of Flesh and Blood, it's more preventing just, and yeah, it's always draining your opponent's deck most of the time, and it's just not what I want to play in Flesh and Blood. I really like the aggro part of it, so I think all the aggro heroes are fine, and most of them are. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
What's
maybe, yeah,
go on.
yeah, or maybe like some full out combo, like Bolton. I don't understand if anybody likes Bolton, right?
We'll talk more about it later, maybe.
Yeah, I just said it because I know you like the Euro.
What's your ultimate goal in Flesh and Blood?
Win Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not going this year, but maybe next year. Yeah, I think you always want to be at the next step, right? Okay, and you ask for the ultimate goal, so
Yeah.
that's definitely winning Worlds. Yeah, I won't settle for anything less.
Cool.
Yeah, the chances are very small, of course, because it's exactly like with nationals. I win nationals, but if we do the exact same tournament the next day, it's not like I will win it again. Maybe like okay, maybe if we do like 50 tournaments, I will win like 2 or 3 out of them, and maybe more than others will or something. I'm not even sure about that, but it's just like one event that you have to win, and there's always a little bit of luck involved. So it's not easy to win Worlds, of course. Like, but yeah, that's the ultimate goal.
Okay. And what's your yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I always
No,
tend
no,
to
no, no,
cut
no.
people off, but what's your
Yeah, yeah.
biggest fear as a player?
My biggest fear as a player. Oh. At this point, because it's actually really hot in my region, it's like finding the places to play enough Flesh and Blood. It's like I'm living in the northern part of Belgium, and there are some stores around us, but yeah, that we have the border with Holland or the Netherlands, and
Yeah.
nobody crosses it. It's like they stay at their side and we stay on our side, and yeah, sometimes it's just hard to find enough people to play in our own local game store. And then I see all the others game stores in Belgium. They have every week a lot of people, but they're central in Belgium, and there's always like 10 to 15, 18, 20 people. And then in our region, sometimes we're happy if we're at 8. Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay, so I
finding
guess
enough
yeah,
players.
losing a place to play regularly, I guess,
Yeah,
would be your
something like
biggest
that.
fear. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That would be very painful.
Now we'll move on to more general questions about gaming. So let's go.
Yeah.
What's your favorite game of all time? Your absolutely favorite game. It can be any kind of game, but yeah, we're talking about card games, but it can be any other game. What's your favorite? The one the game you enjoy playing the most?
Oh my god. Yeah, for TCGs at this point, it's definitely Flesh and Blood. I like it a lot more than all the other TCGs. And I played not all, but I played several. But I really like board games as well. I play a lot of board games with my wife and friends and stuff. They were coming over. And there are some very good board games that I really like. Maybe, but it's an all-time classic, Risk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe that's my all-time favorite board game ever.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's like something we could play for 5, 6 to 7 hours just for one game. Yeah, it's really interesting.
And what's the game you played that you hated the most? The absolute worst game in your opinion? Once again, it can be any kind of game.
The worst game, it's like the Kolonisten van Catan.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like most
Controversial
everybody.
answer. You don't want to make friends because the game has a lot of fans.
Yeah, I know. But
you hate
yeah,
it.
the dice rolls are so important early game. Yeah, if you can buy another street and another house, you're so much ahead at that point from all the rest, and you win most of the games at that point. So it's like in Flesh and Blood. And with limited now, we say 5 versus 5. It's all about the dice roll, and that's like in several games, board games, it's that as well. It's just in the beginning of the dice rolls are in your favor, you just win the game. Yeah, I don't like it. I have it completely, by the way, so no regrets. I have every expansion set. I have all 5 to 6 players. I have a whole
Yeah, so
closet
it's a
full.
love-hate relationship.
Yeah, I have everything of it, but I hate it.
Okay, cool. Who is the professional player that you admire the most? Once again, any kind of game, but the player that's really the most impressive for you.
I have to be honest, right? That was the point.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, the most professional player I admire the most. There isn't any.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know, but I never looked up against anybody else that was playing a game or something. I like they're professionals and we're not. It's like, no, I just do my own thing. I don't try to look at other people and how good are they performing, following them on Twitter and Facebook and stuff. Nah, not really. I follow some players, of course, on Twitter just to get some
But it's not
conversation
admiration.
going. Or
Yeah.
no. It's just more to know what they're doing, and okay, it's fine, but no.
Okay.
Just keep the focus to yourself.
So maybe the next question you may have basically the same answer, but I'll ask it anyway. The line of play amongst all games ever that impressed you the most. It can be a game with your friends, it can be a professional game, it can be anything, but what's the line of play that you remember as being the most impressive to you?
The most impressive.
It can be yours.
The
It
easy
can
one.
be.
No, it's not mine. It's not mine. It's not mine. Oh, but this is a really easy one. In Belgium, we had the Stars Championship.
Yeah.
It's like all the stars organized a tournament, and then the first and a second spot or something could play in one mutual tournament. And then in I think it was the quarterfinals or the semifinals, a friend of mine, Jan Seismans, he was playing Icelander at that point. It was really actually the first time I saw the deck working. And then he was playing against Dash. And I'm not pretty sure, but I think the Dash player was still at like 32 or something, maybe 29, around 30. And Jan was only at 3 anymore. So it seemed like, okay, this game is over. I have no idea what Icelander is doing. But then there's something with Frost Hegs and all the auras, and when you get the Frostbites, you get Runechant damage. And then he played something that gave other Runechants. It came down to he created like 40 Frostbites at once. Yeah, and then the opponent took like 40 arcane damage from the Frostbites, and then he still lost. So it was a really OTK from Icelander. It's the first time I saw it. It was pretty neat to see.
Yeah, the combo is
cool.
amazing when you see it for
Yeah,
the first time.
Yeah, if it's the first time, it's pretty. I saw the Bolton combo as well for the first time last Nationals, but then he was sitting in front of me, so that was not that nice.
Yeah. What's the play that you made during your career as a professional? I mean, not as a professional player, but as an amateur or a future professional player that you're the most proud of? The proudest.
The most proud of?
Yeah. Is there a play that you made that you're particularly proud of?
I think that's very hard. I have no idea, but I'm proud of.
I know there are some people that we both know that would find a way to answer easily. So, but it's maybe you're too humble to be proud of your plays, but some people wouldn't be. So.
Yeah, no, I don't think I know any situation where I'm proud of. It's like, yeah, of course. Like I played Shane during the ProQuest season, and when you can Shane like 12 cards next to another, you're always proud about what you did. But that's what Shane did in the last 2 turns. So it's like, yeah, okay, it's of course you're proud if you can do amazing stuff in the end. But okay, yeah. It's normal, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. You're the one who's supposed to answer. Yeah. So let's finish with the more personal questions. There are still some questions. It's not the end of the interview, but now it's more personal. It's a bit less about the game, more about you. If you were a character in Flesh and Blood, who would you be?
Whoa. Goh. I think a lot of people will say Reinar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I can be a little bit intimidating, I think.
And intense.
Yeah,
Like the kind of guy who can massacre you if you are getting in front of him.
yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah, a bit of a brute as well. Not the smallest guy.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't see it at cam, but you know me, and I'm not the smallest one as well.
Oh
So.
yeah. What's your favorite nickname? The one that fits you the best?
Whoa. No idea. I'm one of the guys that doesn't have any nicknames.
Oh really?
Yeah, nowhere.
Not
And the
even
chat,
to your wife or your children?
that's the one I don't want to answer, or how does this work? Yeah, okay, but my wife, yeah. You say something, but it's like, no, that's not appropriate for this. For here, I think.
Yeah.
But even like on all the discards or on stuff, I don't have any nickname. It's just my name. It's like, this is me, guys. That's all. And
Okay.
nobody uses a nickname for me as well.
Okay,
So,
okay.
no.
Well, that's too bad. I would have loved to find your your nickname. Well, yeah.
Maybe you can search one.
Yeah, I'll invent one. I'll have to find one for everybody else. I'll try to find one for the next one, for the next interview and the next time we meet. Who's the person who means the most to you in your personal life? The most important person for you?
Ooh, the most important person. There are a lot of people that are very important to me. Yeah, of course, it's like my family, right? It's my wife and children, especially my children. I think I have to see because my wife is behind me, so I have to see what I answer now. But
You
yeah,
can talk lower.
yeah, the children, of course, and at this point, especially with the oldest one, he's like playing Pokemon TCG with me as well, and he's really into what I am doing in Flesh and Blood. It's like I told him at a certain point, like there is an event, and if I win this, I will be #1 of Belgium at that point. And then yeah, even when I'm home, he just comes running down to me, and then he says, "Daddy, did you win? Are you the best in Belgium?" And then you can answer, "Yeah, I am." That's
Awesome.
how cool is this? But yeah, that's very, yeah, I really like it. And even when I was talking about worlds and stuff, he has in his room, he has a world map. And then I had to say, like, I'm gonna fly maybe over here, and then he's very impressed about all the thing, and maybe he's even better than me in TCGs. I will train him at least.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good sparring partner at least, and
Yeah.
maybe you'll both grow together. That's what
He's
I hope to do with my son, actually.
Yeah, he's already killing me with Pokemon at this point. So
Amazing, cool. What's the most important work of art for you? It can be a movie, a painting, a sculpture, a video game, anything, an opera, a record, absolutely anything really. The work of art that meant the most to you during the course of your life.
I think this is one that I have no idea. I'm not a culture guy or something. Yeah.
But I mean, a video game can be a work of art, you know. If people were to ask me this answer, I'd probably say like Metal Gear Solid 2 or something like that, because that's one of the things that impress me the most. But it can be anything really. It doesn't have to be something that's considered culture for most people, but it's a work of art anyway.
Yeah.
You don't see anything?
Cardboard.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea. No, I don't know. There's nothing specific. No.
What's the gift of nature that you would like to have? Like
gift of nature.
something that nature gives you, and that's impossible to learn. So it can be more charm. It can be like jumping higher. It can be anything, absolutely anything. Just not something that you can learn. So it can't be getting better at flesh and blood. It's because nature doesn't give it to you. It's like hard work.
Yeah. Um, um, the gift of nature. I think I learned to be very happy with myself, like I am at this point, and I am who I am, and I accepted it at this point, and I really hope other people will accept me as I am as
Cool.
well. But sometimes maybe, yeah, it would be cool if I didn't look that rude against other people sometimes.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, in my whole life, I already had some problems with when I meet new people. Their first impression is always like, "Ooh, we have to
Yeah.
see what we tell against this guy," because sometimes he can react a little bit rude, and sometimes I do it, of course. But so maybe I should be a bit more polite or something. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. But I'm very I use a lot of sarcasm when I speak, and if you don't know me, a lot of people misunderstand it, and then
hmm
it goes south sometimes. So
So
yeah,
maybe me be more gentle.
yeah, maybe
Okay.
something like that. Yeah.
And another, I think it's gonna be a tough question, but maybe some people will have an easier time to answer this one. How would you like to die? It's getting dark now. All of a sudden,
Oh,
yeah.
how do I want to die? God damn it! What a question. Oh, actually, how it happens, I don't think it really matters. As long if I can check my bucket list, it's all fine for me. Yeah, you can push me off a bridge afterwards. It's like, yeah, I just want to grow old. I want to be the oldest Flesh and Blood player in the world, maybe,
Cool.
and then it's all fine for me. No,
Okay.
but I think I just want to 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 have everything that there is in life. Like I want to go on a pension sometime, and then I want to see my grandchildren grow up. Like I was talking about going with my son maybe to events in like 5 to 6 years.
hmm
How cool would it be if I go with my grandson in like
Oh yeah.
35 years? Yeah, I think
Cool.
that's just everything I want to have to happen in my life, and after that, I think I'm happy with it. Then
Cool. Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Cool. So finally, the two questions I love the most. The first one, it was invented by Bernard Pivot, the guy who, modernized the Questionnaire de Proust for French TV. And it's the question is there. You just die. You just died, and you arrive at the pearly gates or heaven or whatever, some kind of afterlife, whatever it is. We can
Yeah.
call it any name as long as it makes sense to you and to your faith. I don't know what faith or lack of faith you have, but it's not about the question is not about that. But God greets you at the pearly gates in heaven or in this afterlife. What do you think He'll say to you once God meets you? Or this, the supreme being from.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What do you think he's gonna say to Glenn Van Roy when he meets him?
Think he's gonna say like, "Do you still remember the interview with Romain like 50 years ago? Everything you said that wanted you to happen happened, and now it's time for you to come over here. Yeah? You won Worlds. Yeah?
Cool.
You played the finals against your grandson." Something like that. I have no idea what he will tell to me. Yeah.
But that's cool. That's
It's
a
actually,
that's a cool answer. Don't try to push it too much. It's the perfect answer. I mean, you just you just won against your grandson at Worlds. It's perfect.
yeah.
And the very last questions. It's another kind of god in a way. If James White was in front of you right now and he had to give you an answer, he had to reply, and he wouldn't be able to lie to you, we had no chance of avoiding the questions, what would you ask him?
Oh. What do I really want from James White?
Yeah, actually,
Maybe
it doesn't have
I
to be
can
a question, but it doesn't have to be a question. You can just tell him something. But
Yeah.
yeah, James White is in front of you. What happens? Do you ask him a question? Do you...
He asks me to be part of his testing team.
Okay. So yeah, you can be a question. Can I be part of your testing team right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, it was a very nice moment with you, Glenn. We've reached the end of our questions. I have to say it was really cool talking to you about in this situation and in this kind of way, because we always talk about cards and strategy, but now we've talked about something more intimate. How did you like it? Was it not too uncomfortable for you?
No, it was fine. It's not uncomfortable at all. Yes, some questions are just pretty hard. I just never, you never think about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm very proud I did this, or oh, what happens if I meet God at this point? What he's gonna say? It's like I never think about those stuff before I go to bed or something.
Mm.
Yeah, it's sometimes just very hard to answer, but yeah, it's fine. It's like
Okay, cool.
okay.
Well, before we leave and before I close the video, is there something that you want to say to the people out there? And when can we see you next? Where can we see you in the international scene, in the professional scene for Flesh and Blood? You're not going to Worlds, so what's next for you as a player?
I think we're on a break at this point in Europe, so the next what's scheduled already at this point, it will be Battle Hardened Belgium, I think in January. I think that's the next. I really hope something will come up. So James, do something like we have free space in November or something like that. At the end of November would be very fine.
Okay.
Let's do a calling or something in
Yeah,
Europe.
some kind of calling in Europe. Yeah, it would be
Yeah,
awesome.
indeed.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Glenn. And guys over there in front of your computer or your phone or anything, we'll see you next time with another questionnaire d'Ophidia. Thanks a lot, and see you around. Bye.
Yeah, thanks for having me.